Hi, I'm Ryan Cunningham. Today's class is going to be a Yoga for Athletes class, and the class is basically going to be specific for shoulders and hips, and we're going to do some really good stretching and mobility work. So let's actually start out on hands and knees, and today you're going to also need, sorry, I forgot to add, 2 light blue blocks and anything to cushion your knees with. So have the light blue blocks tall towards the top of your mat. And we're going to come to hands and knees and just start out with a few rounds of cat and cow just to warm up our back, our neck, shoulders, and hips. So with the next inhale, you're going to relax the belly down, tilt the tailbone up, really expand your chest forward through the upper arms as you start to tilt your chin up to the ceiling. This will always be your inhale. Exhale, start to tuck the tailbone under, round your spine up to the ceiling, press into your palms, even notice that upper back rounding up. Chin tucks under towards your chin. This is your exhale. Inhale, reverse that. Belly down, tailbone up, chin up. Exhaling, round that spine. Cat spine. Inhale, cow. Exhaling, round that spine up. Good, just do a few more rounds on your own. Any other modifications you like to add in your cat and cow, you're welcome to take that as well. With your next inhale, go ahead and curl your toes under. And as you take your exhale, we're going to work our way to a downward facing dog. So start to lift the hips up to the ceiling. Go ahead and take the head chest through the arms. Arms are lengthening, so your biceps are lifting, and we're just going to wake up our legs a little bit by pedaling our heels out. Make sure your fingers are splaying out wide, palms are flat. You have space in the shoulders, relaxing your neck, and just feel your hips lifting. Breathing, and let's start to lengthen our breath. So start to take in a deep, full, complete breath in through the nose, and a complete breath out through the nose. And a few more on your own. Maybe move the heels side to side as you're starting to warm up the body with the breath. All right, now we're going to add some low crescent movement just to warm up our body. You're going to sweep your right leg up on that inhale. Exhale, you're going to step your right foot forward to the outside of that right hand. Engage this back leg, bend your front knee, sink your hips, turn your gaze up. So take it back to a down dog. Same thing with that left leg, sweep it up, step it forward to the outside of that left hand, engage your right leg, bend that front knee, back to a down dog. Again, one more time each side on your own. And you can take it a little bit faster if you'd like, or go slow with control. And all we're doing is just waking up the body. Good. And last one is down dog. Let's re-lift that right leg back up. Take your right foot forward to the outside of your right hand again. Front knee bends forward, back leg straight. You're going to take your right arm, sweep your right arm up to the ceiling. Open your chest up. Engage this back leg, so kneecap up into the quad, sinking your hips down, and really open your chest up. This will be our inhale. We're going to add a little bit of thoracic movement. Exhale, right arm is going to swing down and behind the left wrist, and just reach your right arm past that left arm. Inhale, back up. Exhale, swing that right arm down. Now the lower body and legs are not moving. Do 2 more on your own. You're engaging your left leg, so that left kneecap's pulling up into the quad, squeeze your left glute, and just move consciously with your breath. Then we're going to take that right hand back down, back to downward facing dog. Left leg, sweep it straight up. Step that left foot forward to the outside of your left hand. Back leg lengthens, front knee bends, sink your hips, gaze forward and up. Left arm, sweep it up. Exhale, lower it behind that right wrist and extend it to the right. Left arm back up. And to the right. 2 more on your own. Try to just move the arm and the upper body, not so much your hips and lower body. Last one, palm to the mat, downward facing dog. Good, and again, just pedal those heels out, moving the body a little bit. Next inhale, we're going to take our shoulders forward above the wrists for a high plank, high push-up. You can drop the knees or straight body. Chaturanga down to your belly. We're going to take a low cobra. So uncurl the toes. You're going to circle the arms around behind you just to open up the chest and the shoulders. Interlace your fingers behind your hips. Squeeze your shoulders back and really expand your chest forward. So as you're lengthening your chest forward, tailbone's going back, start to press your knuckles back. So you're lengthening your arms and feel that extension of your spine. Shoulders back, chest forward. And also squeeze the glutes a little bit to protect your low back. Lengthen the legs, float your legs up. As we're holding, we're lengthening, we're breathing, and just trying to open up that chest. And let's release the hands under the shoulders, relax the legs down for a child's pose. So press the palms into the mat, sit back onto your heels. Your knees can be together or your knees can be apart. Relax your forehead down. And again, just bring that breath back. Maybe start adding your Ujjayi breathing. And then we'll work our way back to a downward facing dog. All right, in that down dog, sweep your right leg up. Maybe bend the knee, open up the hip a little bit. Low lunge. Step your right foot forward, lower that back knee down. And if you need to, cushion your back knee, but also let's reach over and grab both of our light blue blocks. All right, so we're gonna sink into our lunge. Make sure that front knee and ankle are in line. Belly in, slight tuck of that tailbone, so have no discomfort in your low back. Palms to the block, and there's 3 levels to these blocks, so you're welcome to use any 3 levels or hands to the floor. So whatever your body's gonna allow today, just listen. Be able to sink your hips down, chest tall and open, and then we're gonna take a runner's lunge, our hamstring stretch. So just to wake up our hamstrings, this is a great hamstring and hip flexor mobility move, just to kind of wake everything up. And just keep moving forward and back. If you get to a point where you don't have to move the blocks with you anymore, just start to do that. And just be able to sink forward and back. And as we move and breathe, maybe you start to notice you're loosening up now as we're warming up. Lower the blocks down a level. Maybe that last level. Good, let's just do one more. Last one, bend that front knee forward. Now you're just gonna take the blocks off to the side. And you're gonna place both hands framing that right foot. So your right arm is gonna hug, that armpit's gonna hug your right knee into that right side body. Your palms can be flat. You can be on fingertips or fists, whatever is best for you, but sink your hips down. Pinky toe of the back foot is down. And you're hugging this right knee into your right side body. Sink the hips, start to turn your gaze up. And then the movement is just gonna be at your hips. So you're gonna take your left thigh, roll it down. Push your right hip to the right, left thigh down. This movement is working your left hip flexor. Hip flexor is right through here. So we're just trying to wake up this high quad hip flexor a little bit. I also had some requests for some hip flexors as well. It's all connected. All right, so our next one, grab your light blue block, have it next to your right thigh. You're gonna take your torso tall, push your hips back a little bit. I'd like you to be able to grab this left foot. So hips are gonna go back. If you need to reach down and around for the foot, go ahead and do so. Just careful of you don't want any cramping in that left hamstring. So hand on the block or hand on the thigh. Either way is great. Front foot can also walk to the right a few steps too. But I want you to tuck your tailbone under, so you're trying to get the frontal bones up towards your lower rib cage. Squeeze this left glute, chest tall, and then just bend your front knee as far as your body will allow you to go. Push back, bend, back. So a little bit of high quad hip flexors, what we're really working on right here too. The hip flexor is also attached up towards the psoas, so if you have any low back issues, great stretch to work with. Good, now hold, squeeze this left glute, and just gently release this left foot down. You're going to take the complete low lunge and then push back out of that low lunge. And again, let's tuck this tailbone under, squeeze this left glute a little bit tighter, left arm up, right arm down, tilt the upper body to the right, and now sink into the lunge as far as your body will allow, push back, sink, push back, squeeze this glute, sink, push back, relax everything down, sink into your lunge, step back, downward facing dog. And just pedal your heels up. Right away, left leg, sweep it up, step it forward, low lunge, grab your blocks, chest tall, sink those hips, pinky toe of that back foot is down, and then find your runner's lunge. You can curl the toes under if you'd like, uncurl, whatever it is. Just wake up your body. Breathing. Try a different level. If it doesn't work, you can always just bring it back up to that next level. Good, one more. Bend that front knee. Take your blocks off to the side. Now this left arm, you want to hug this left arm around this knee. So you're just trying to pull this knee closer to your left side body. Palm fists or fingertips on the mat. Be able to sink your hips. So you sinking your hips. You do want your chest to try to lift up as high as you can as you hug this knee in, and then rotate that right thigh down and to the left. Down into the left. So this is a really good hip stretch or hip flexor stretch, especially for those that might cycle or cyclists, runners. You will definitely enjoy this one. You can even hold that stretch, rotate that right thigh down, head, chest up, maybe even turn and look to the left a little bit. Usually one hip flexor might be tighter than the other, so just kind of move your body with what feels good for you today, especially if this is a post-run too. All right, take your hips back, grab your light blue block, quad stretch. Grab that foot, chest tall. Make any adjustments that'll help with your balance, but tuck your tailbone under so that the frontal bones are reaching up towards the lower rib cage. Squeeze your right glute, chest tall, and then bend that front knee, push back. Bend that front knee, push back. And when you have that full engagement of your right glute with the tailbone tucking under and hips squared up, you're not going to sink into that full low lunge. Two more. Good. Push back, gently release. You're welcome to even take a quick little stretch into your full low lunge. Bring that back. Even a deeper tuck in that tailbone, tighter squeeze in that right glute. Right arm up, left arm down. Slight tilt of the upper body to the left. And then that same action. So this motion, you're going up into the psoas a little bit higher. So definitely move consciously with your breath. Keep squeezing that right glute. One more. And then let's relax. Palms on the mat. If you need a child's pose, take that. Otherwise, work your way to a downward facing dog. Otherwise, vinyasa is a good option too. All right, relax your heels down. If you're in child's pose, work your way back to a down dog. Right leg, sweep it back up, and you're gonna step your right foot forward back to a low lunge. Take your right arm to the inside of your right foot. All right, so we have our blocks nearby, but what I'd like you to do is to take this right foot, instead of having it in line with the right knee, walk it forward past your right knee. So we're just taking a wider distance with our low lunge. So again, cushion the knee if you need to, and both hands are gonna be on the inside of this right foot. So just make sure there's no discomfort in your knees or your hips or even your hamstrings. And as we do this, have this right knee hugging into your right shoulder. So sink nice and low. And the option here too is to be able to walk your hands forward. So this is option one. sinking your hips down. Hug this right knee into your upper body. You can hang here. We have our blocks right here. Maybe take it a little bit lower, and there's 3 levels to these blocks. Be able to sink your hips straight down, pull that right thigh into your upper body. Keep your shoulders back. Broaden your collarbones. Really expand your chest forward. Having that long spine really gets you deeper into your hips. And if you have more space as we're holding, try that next level down. Never hurts to try. If it's too much, bring it right back up. Realign everything, stay in the pose, smooth breath. If you have that space, give it another shot. Next level. Remember, long spine. If you're rounding your spine, that means your hips are lifting. Lengthen. And now let's walk it all the way up to the hands. At the hands, slide your right foot back. Take that child's pose if you need it. Down dog's a great option as well. And pedal your heels. All right, if you're in child's pose, downward facing dog. Down dog, left leg, sweep it up. Step it forward. Right knee lowers down. Cushion the right knee if you need to. And let's find our low lunge first, chest tall. And then that's when you start to crawl this front foot forward a little bit more. And then sink the hips, chest tall. Maintain that length in your spine. And you're gonna notice one side might be tighter than the other. Perfectly fine. Just hug this knee into your upper body, sink your hips. Keep that extension of the spine and your gaze forward. Walk the hands out in front of you. This is really nice too. It helps to maintain the length in your spine. Or grab your blocks. Start with the high level of your blocks, hug this knee in, and work your way down. Sometimes just allowing your body to relax as you ease deeper into the stretch is key. Pinky toe of your back foot is also down. Want to maintain the hips squared up. And as we ease deeper, allow yourself to lower down to that next level of your blocks. And just remember, always maintain that length in your spine. Hug that knee into your upper body. Excellent. Start to work your way out of the pose. Slide your blocks off to the side, child's pose, down dog. Feel like you need a quick vinyasa, you're welcome to take that vinyasa. Breathing. All right, so let's all lower down to our knees. At the knees, I'm gonna have you circle your legs around, and you're gonna take a seat. At this seat, we're gonna do what I like to call the bear crawl. And it always gets my hip flexors whenever I do this, but it's actually really good hip mobility as well. So you wanna be able to recline back a little bit onto your hands, keep your chest open, walk the feet apart. I'd like you to lower both knees off to the right. So as you do that, make sure your left knee and right ankle are not touching. Be able to push those knees down, lift your chest. Let's first take our left knee. Lift the left knee up. As you lift the left knee up and push it out, your right knee is still pushing down towards the floor, so your knees are pushing apart, and you slowly transition to the other side and do that same thing. Both knees, add pressure of the knees into the floor. Right knee lifts. Keep the knees pushing apart, and then over to the right. So it's a little bit more of a controlled motion, deeper mobility. You have better control with your hips with this as well. And again, don't sink like this with your shoulders. Open the chest up, engage your core. So you're not relaxing the upper body, it's a full body engagement. Keep those knees pushing further apart. Good, we're gonna finish up on the left side. This is a really good, sometimes most people will feel this in their hip flexors, but awesome for hip mobility. Okay, and just come forward for a second. Let's just kind of shake out our hands a little bit. Take the back of your hands, push them together, elbows down, wrists lift up, and then just do some wrist circles. And then reverse, because we're going to get into our arms in a moment. I'd like to get into some shoulder stretching and shoulder mobility is what we're going to enter into now. So next step, palms are going to come to the mat behind your hips, and your fingers are going to point to the top of your mat. You're going to plant the feet onto your mat and have the feet about hip width apart. So we're going to go into a high bridge pose, but my focus here is to kind of get into your anterior deltoid a little bit more. All right, so you want to open the chest up, press firmly into the mat with both feet, and then go ahead and lift your hips straight up to the ceiling, squeeze your glutes a little bit, and then if it's okay on your neck, relax your head back. But squeeze your glutes enough where you're lifting those hips up higher, press into your palms, lift the chest up also, and relax your head back. And then very slowly bring that back down. So just remember, even when you lift up, you don't want to sink. Open your chest up, press into the palms. Let's do that again. Let's take that high bridge pose, lift it up, squeeze your glutes, press into the palms, lift, then relax the head back. Good, relax down. One more. Bring it right back up. And right back down. Good. Now let's take that the other direction with both hands. Circle the hands around. And you do the same thing. Palms flat, squeeze your glutes, take that high bridge, relax your head back, and bring it back down. Again, back up. One more after this one on your own. Excellent. And let's relax for a second. Keep the palms flat. Now this time, you're going to take your hands, you're going to keep it bent in both elbows. I'd like you to walk your hands in a little bit closer together. They do not have to touch, but have them behind your hips towards the middle of your mat. So as you're walking them in together, if you can get the pinky fingers to touch, awesome, go ahead and do so. Just have a micro bend or a little bit of a bend in those elbows. And we want to do that same thing with our shoulders and chest. Roll your shoulders back, expand the chest open, and we're going to take our hips and our feet, we're going to walk everything forward. Palms flat, elbows slightly bent, chest lifted, walk everything forward. Good, you might kind of just get to that point where you're like, yeah, I feel that stretch, and you can hang here. Legs can be however, chill out if you want, doesn't matter. Just keep that slight micro bend in those elbows, chest lifted, and breathe. And to slowly come out, just walk your hands forward, take a seat. Good, and at this seat, I just want you to take the shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Just do a few rounds. And then forward. That's a really fantastic stretch for that. All right, so now I'm going to have us do some mobility work. So on the mobility work with our shoulders, I'm going to have you come down to a pronation onto your belly. So on our belly, take the arms overhead and relax your forehead down to the mat. All right, so what I really want to focus on is that this is also a full body engagement. You don't want to relax the body just to focus on the shoulder mobility. So forehead onto the mat. Your legs are lengthened back, so your toes are pointing back behind you. I want you to have a slight engagement in your quads. So press the tops of the feet into the mat. Pull your kneecaps up into your quads. That'll help to engage the quads a little bit. Then you want to squeeze your glutes, push your tailbone back towards your feet, engage your core. So lift that belly button up off the mat. All right, so as you rest your forehead here, I'm going to have you take your arms, extend the arms out overhead. So keep reaching forward. Now your hands, you're splaying your fingers out as wide as you can. So separate them really, really wide. And find that extension of your arms. And you're also finding that engagement in your arms too. So lengthen. And you're going to float the arms up and the hands up as high as you can off the mat. Keep that full engagement. Keep separating those fingers out really, really wide. So as you float up,
Start to extend the arms out to the sides like you're flying. Keep reaching, and now you're going to start to add this internal rotation. Keep the arms lifted. And as you do so, the palms are going to turn facing up to the ceiling. Then you're going to bend your elbows, stack the hands, rest your hands to your low back or glutes, and be able to lower those elbows down towards the mat. Even push them down. Good. Just press them down. Keep that full body engagement, belly lifted. Start to lift the elbows up really high, really high. Then float the arms up or the hands up away from your low back. Separate those fingers really wide. Extend the arms back through your fingertips back towards behind you. And then circle them around. This time try to lift the arms up even higher. And circle them around back where we started. And then relax the arms back down to the floor. So after that one, just take a moment just to kind of relax for a second and just notice the sensation of the shoulders. Now this is all shoulder mobility. You want a full body engagement and keep the core strong, keep the legs strong, especially the arms. So separate those fingers really, really wide. Find the extension of the arms and find that internal and external rotation of your arms as well. So we'll do 2 more and know that it's not fast, it's full body control. So go ahead on your own. And as we do one more, you might be hearing some cracking in the shoulders, perfectly normal. If there's any cramping, that's normal as well too. Just move with your breath. No rush with this, just full body control. Good. When we're done, let's work our way to a child's pose. We'll just take a few moments in child's pose. And in your child's pose, your arms can be overhead or down along the sides, whichever is going to feel better for your body and for your shoulders. Just settle in, relax, breathing. All right, and just one more pose that we're going to do is now we're going to stretch out the shoulders. So let's work our way back to our belly. You're going to keep the left palm underneath your left shoulder. Take your right arm. So I'll show you really quick seated. When you take your right arm, you're going to extend your right arm out of your right shoulder, but slide it up a little bit higher. Okay, so don't have it below the shoulder, have it just above that shoulder right there. Okay, so when you extend it out, lift it up a little bit higher than the shoulder. You're going to turn your head, look to the left. Relax that ear, right ear to the mat. Bend your left knee, lift the left thigh, and flip that left leg behind the right. Plant that foot to the floor. Left arm can reach up and back. You can wrap it around or keep it on the mat. Now, if you have any discomfort in your low back with this bent knee, just straighten the left leg out. Stack the legs up. Take this top hip and rotate it back instead. The hand can also guide you. The left hand. Either way. Okay, and let's bring it back down to our belly. And we're going to do the left side. So left arm, same thing as we did with that right arm. Right leg behind the left. Good, and let's bring it back down to our belly. At our belly, we'll take a quick child's pose. Good, take a few deep breaths. All right, and then from our child's pose, you are welcome to elevate your legs up against a wall if you need to get some lactic acid out of your system.
Definitely take at least a 5-minute Shavasana, a deep relaxation for yourself, just to let the body neutralize. But I'm going to end class right now. That was a perfect hip and shoulder mobility and stretch class. So I thank you for your time, and namaste.